Cold War-era rhetoric, hundreds of thousands of troops and highly contested territories. Eastern Europe is the stage for the latest standoff between Russia and Ukraine in a conflict that's been going on for years. Moscow repeatedly denied planning to invade its ex-Soviet neighbour, but by late February, Putin announced a special military operation in the Donbass region, and Russian troops started attacking infrastructure across Ukraine. So how did we get here? Since the annexation of Crimea in 2014, there's been a strong Russian military presence close to Ukraine. But signs of a potential invasion emerged in early 2021 with a visible military build-up. By November, the Ukrainian Defense Ministry estimated 90,000 Russian troops were located near the border. Russia blamed the West for the escalation, for holding military drills in the Black Sea and flying near its borders.
В данной ситуации мы предпринимаем адекватные военно-технические меры. Но, повторю, не мы кому-то угрожаем.
In December, US intelligence claimed Russia could begin a military offensive by early 2022. Russia then presented its security demands to the West, including guarantees against NATO expanding further east and not allowing Ukraine to join the alliance. This was rejected, with Europe and the US saying Ukraine is free to decide its own path.
Our perspective, I can't be more clear. NATO's door is open, remains open, and that is our commitment.
And so a diplomatic dance began to find a solution to the crisis that didn't end with war. Putin maintained that the West ignored his concerns and troops continued to mass at the border. And the West replied,
"We will impose the most severe sanctions that have ever been imposed, economic sanctions. And there will be a lot to pay for that down the road."
The US began shipping weapons to Kyiv and deployed 3,000 troops in Eastern Europe. By mid-February, the Kremlin released images of some of its forces leaving the border region. But US intelligence maintained Russia was actually building up its forces there. Invasion, they claimed, was imminent.
There are signs from Moscow that diplomacy could continue, but so far we have not seen any sign of withdrawal or de-escalation.
Next, Putin made a bold move, signing decrees recognizing the independence of the two Moscow-backed territories in eastern Ukraine and ordered troops into the region. It sparked international outrage and a host of sanctions began.
Ми на своїй землі. Ми нічого і нікого не боїмось.
2 days later, Moscow launched a broad offensive targeting military infrastructure and other key installations across Ukraine.
Кто бы ни пытался помешать нам, а тем более создать угрозы для нашей страны, для нашего народа, должны знать, что ответ России будет незамедлительным и приведет вас к таким последствиям, с которыми вы в своей истории еще никогда не сталкивались.
But what does Putin actually want? Winding back the clock, essentially. The Russian leader has said he sees the fall of the Soviet Union as a catastrophe and regards Ukrainians and Russians as one people. But with NATO countries, troops and weaponry nearby, this desire to bring Ukraine back into the fold of Kremlin authority has dire consequences for the Ukrainian people, Eastern Europe and beyond.